Hi, this is Dr. Jigbali with the Kudos Weight Loss Program. About 4 weeks ago, I was visiting with one of my patients, John. John is about 58 years old. He's about 30 pounds overweight. His blood sugar is a little bit high. His cholesterol was quite high. So I said to him, we need to do something to try and reduce your weight, your cholesterol, and your blood sugar, because this dramatically increases your risk of heart disease and stroke. He was interested and he asked me, so how are we going to do this? I told him, for starters, we need to change his diet. We need to cut back on the amount of desserts he was eating, cookies, cakes, candies, and things like that. And also high fat sugar. So after I finished listing all the foods that he can have, he paused for a minute as if he was in deep thought. Then he said to me, what else do you have? That sounds a little drastic. But why am I telling you this story? Knowing the diet or meal plan that is right for you is the main reason most people give up on their diets. You want to change your diet, but halfway through, you're confused. Should you go high protein today? Should you go ketogenic diet? Or should you do a low fat diet? The information there is a little bit confusing. And none of these diets are either good or bad. The key question is which one of these is right for you. So I'm going to show you how to create a meal plan that is right for you in 3 simple steps. The steps are: number 1, sugar restriction. The second thing you have to do is also to try and pinpoint your food sensitivities so you can avoid them. And the third thing is to learn to eat mindfully. I'm going to discuss these points in 3 separate episodes. So for today, I'm going to focus mostly on why you need to restrict sugar. I often tell my patients that sugar is not a sweet treat. It is a bitter threat to your health. Sounds a little drastic, but it's not. Why is that the case? What happens when you eat sugar is this. Let's say you eat a bowl of ice cream. Your blood sugar is going to spike. And I will show you on this diagram here. See, normal blood sugar when you're fasting is supposed to be between 65 and 99. So you're going along and your blood sugar is running around here. If you eat something that's high in sugar, what's going to naturally happen is your blood sugar is going to spike. When this happens, the body kicks into action. Your pancreas specifically releases a hormone called insulin. So this is your blood sugar. As it goes up there, the pancreas is going to make insulin, which I represent in red here. When it does that, your blood sugar goes down. So now your blood sugar comes down. And then the insulin level also goes down. Next time, if you eat another meal that's high in blood sugar, you're going to repeat the same thing. The blood sugar spikes, insulin follows, the blood sugar comes down, and your insulin comes down. Why is this important? It says persistent spikes in insulin will lead to a condition called insulin resistance. When you have high insulin levels, your tissues become less responsive. Insulin resistance has been linked to inflammation, and that is the cause of the danger. Inflammation has been linked to all the chronic diseases that plague in modern society, from obesity to diabetes to heart disease, heart attack. But it doesn't stop there. Cancer, your risk of cancer dramatically increases if you have chronic inflammation. In fact, just yesterday, there was an article that showed that women who consume high sugar drinks had a dramatically higher rate of breast cancer. Think about that. But as bad as that is, I think the biggest danger of high sugar is dementia. The higher your blood sugar, the higher the risk of dementia. In fact, some researchers now refer to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes. Type 3 diabetes. So it is very well established that if your sugar levels are too high, your insulin is going to follow along, and therefore your risk of inflammation and chronic diseases. You just can't afford that. So what do you need to do? You need to eat in a way that allows your blood sugar to rise steadily, give you a steady flow of blood sugar, because your brain and your tissues need sugar for fuel. You just don't need the spikes. So you need to, if you do that, your insulin level will stay level here and avoid the development of insulin resistance. So now we understand why it is important to restrict sugar. How much sugar should you have? The American Heart Association recommends that a woman should have no more than 25 grams of added sugar a day. And the same for kids and teenagers. And a man should have 36 grams of added sugar a day. By added sugar, I'm referring to sugar that's coming from any other source other than fruits and vegetables. So there you have it, 25 grams for women, children, and teenagers, and 36 grams for an adult male. But it's really very easy to exceed that. A cup of fruit yogurt, most of them have as much as 30 grams of sugar. Think about that. You would think of yogurt as a naturally healthy food. So you have a cup of yogurt, and now you've exceeded the amount of sugar you need for a day. I recommend for my program and my patients to try and wean themselves back on the sugar to 40 grams or less a day of added sugar. Natural sugars from fruits and vegetables, you're fine with that. So where do you find sugar? The biggest source of sugar in the American diet today is drinks. The sports drinks, the sodas, and even things like vitamin water and fruit juices, they are loaded with sugar. So you have to look. Now, you don't want to drink your sugar. So look at your drinks, but also your desserts, dressings, dips, and dried fruits and dairy products. So what I recommend is avoid drinking your sugar. And from then, the rest of the things you're eating, the only way to know exactly how much sugar you're consuming is to look at the food label and try to decrease at least in half the amount of sugar you're consuming every 1 to 2 weeks until you get down to a safe level, about 40 grams or less. So I hope you found the information in this video very useful. If you find it helpful, please click the like button or subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find great and amazing programs that will help you on your weight loss and wellness journey at our kudosweightloss.com. I can't wait to see you there. Again, kudos to you for listening to this video so far.